Tonight for dinner we're going to make a buffalo chicken quesadilla. So we're going to use, these have nothing to do with it. We're going to use chicken nuggets. These are the ones that I use. These are at the local grocery store for a pretty economical price, and they seem to be very consistent. So I like these. We're going to use half the package, which is what I have in here. And we're going to put these into the oven for about 10 minutes. Actually, maybe a little bit too much. This says to cook it at... these are already cooked, so we're just warming it up. These say 425. Oh, it does say 10 minutes. Okay. I do like 300 though, 350. So they're going to heat up in the pan too. We don't want it to get too cooked. So I like to put the foil down just so we don't make a mess of the tray. And we'll, whoops, that's, I'm going to keep this in here for now. Our nuggets here, and disperse those evenly so that they cook correctly. And then we'll come over here and we'll put these into here. And we're going to turn this up to, it's already at 350. So it's on, we'll go to bake. And we'll turn that on. It's, okay. This doesn't have a timer on it, so we kind of just have to pay attention to the clock. Okay, so now we'll move back over here. We're going to close this and put this back into the refrigerator. Use that for something else. So now I need some cheese. I have 4 cheese Mexican shredded cheese that we use. And I have whole wheat tortillas. Oh, we'll need 2 of these. Why is this not opening? There we go. I guess that makes a pretty good seal. Alright, so we're going to put one of these into the pan. And we're going to turn, we'll do about halfway on. And we're going to put some of the cheese. Put some of the cheese in here. And I find the cheese kind of difficult to get out of that bag with any control. So I usually get a small bowl and I put the cheese into the bowl and then I can disperse it better. I forgot that we're still waiting on our nuggets, so I'm going to lower that back down. It's going to be a bit too much. So we just put a layer of cheese on here. Pretty much coated solid. And now we have to just kind of wait for the nuggets to cook or warm up. The nuggets have been cooking for about 10 minutes. So they should be warmed up now. So let's go ahead and get these out of here. And I'm going to move these into the pan now. The cheese is starting to melt because I had the heat on just kind of real low. Yeah, these are, they're warm, but they're not really hot yet. But that's fine. So I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to kind of disperse these evenly to try to cover this whole surface area. Now this will end up being a very meaty quesadilla. If you don't like it that way, then you can cut these in smaller segments and disperse it more sparsely. But this is how I want it to be. Okay, so now I'm going to increase the heat in the pan a little bit. And let that sit there for a little while, maybe 2 minutes or so. I'm going to go ahead and apply some hot sauce now. This is the Frank's Red Hot Wings buffalo sauce. I enjoy this sauce very much. I'm going to use it pretty generously. This is not a very hot sauce, so quite a bit of it can be used. Alright, that should be good for that. So now we have to put another layer of cheese on. And again, I pretty much cover it entirely. I need a little more cheese. Now we should be good to flip it now. But before we flip it, we're going to put a second tortilla on there. Just over the top like this. And this is probably the most difficult part, is to flip this thing. Try to pick it up like this. And lose a little bit of cheese out of the bottom and drop it back in the pan. Now we're going to turn the heat up about halfway and kind of toast the tortilla a little bit so it gets a little bit crispy. And again, that's also something that you can do to meet your personal preference. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I'm going to flip it to crisp up the other side, and then we'll be done. Alright, I think that's done now. Move this onto the plate. I like to put a ticker towel down so it doesn't get like damp from the condensation. And that's it. This will be tonight's dinner. Quite simple to make.